What's up, comrades? Nightwolf here, and welcome back to the Super Recap. We're going to be going over a few comic book and nerd-related stories that we do on a regular weekly basis, or as often as I can when I find interesting stories to talk about. Now, let's go into this news. Of course, the first thing let's talk about, we're going to talk a little bit about some DC-related content, because I haven't done that in a while, and I feel like I haven't given them enough love on the channel. So let's get right into it. Now, for those of you who probably are already aware, DC announced that there's going to be a Batman and Flash crossover event in the comic books where they will be discovering the mystery of the comedian button that Batman found in the Batcave. That was really cool, and I was really excited. But that's not the reason why I was excited. No, the reason I was excited is because we're getting the reappearance of two characters, one from Flashpoint and one from the Pre-52 universe. Those characters are Thomas Wayne Batman and the Reverse Flash from the Pre-52. Oh my god, I am so excited to see both these characters make a comeback. Now, for Thomas, I like him. I like the design of his suit. And I actually like him as a character. But the Reverse Flash is the one I'm the most interested in. Because, as far as I'm aware, the current Flash doesn't know anything about this Pre-52 Reverse Flash of Thawne. And it's like, oh my gosh, how is this going to play out? How are they going to interact? What's going to happen? Also, I'm pretty sure that there's going to be references to the fact that Thomas Wayne killed the Reverse Flash right at nearing the end of Flashpoint. That's going to be freaking cool to see how they might interact with both of these guys' obvious sequential return. Yep, I'm pretty pumped. I'm pretty excited. I hope you guys are reading Flash and Batman or anything DC Rebirth because, hey, there's a lot of books out there that are really good. There was one other story that I kind of forgot and didn't think of initially, but I recently read issue 9 of The Flash, and guess frickin' what? That's right. There is a little nod that Jay Garrick, the original Flash from the Golden Age Flash, is making a comeback as well. Oh my goodness. Please, DC, keep this coming. I want to see more references to your older days. I want to keep seeing those characters making a return. And then it going full circle. I want to see it. Oh my gosh. It's so cool. It's so good. I cannot recommend DC Rebirth enough. I'm sure if you are not reading it, I'm sure there's something in there that you would love. Please go out and check it out. Watch some reviews. Do something. It is really good. I don't know any books on the line that are actually really bad. I know there's some average ones and some pretty ones and some ones that aren't as good, but bad ones, I don't really think there are any that I can think of. There might be a couple, but I'm not reading everything, so keep that in mind. Now, on to some Marvel-related news. Well, the first piece of news is not Marvel-related, but let's talk about this. Mark Waid, yes, Mark Waid, he's back again in the news, but this time he has deleted his Twitter. You may ask yourself, why did he delete his Twitter? Well, my friend, you're in luck. Apparently it has something to do with him and the guy who runs the Bleeding Cool website, or somebody on that particular payroll. I'm not really sure what's the exchanges. I couldn't really find anything about it, but what I will leave is an article that I found that involves it. There's not a lot of information. It's not really circulating a lot online that I'm aware of. I'll try and find whatever information I can for this recap, but basically, it's a bit weird. I'll tell you that much. I don't know what Waid was thinking, but you know, you can delete your Twitter if you want. No one's going to stop you. And on to what I think is a relatively heavy topic. That's why I'm going to tone myself down a bit and kind of real talk with you guys a bit. Apparently, there was some anti-Semitic and and what was the other? An anti-Christian propaganda put into the first issue of X-Men Gold. Now you would think that it's like, was it dialogue related? No. It was art related. It was hidden within the art. And I was a little shocked and a little surprised by it. It involves something in Indonesia, some political strife and religious strife that's been happening in Indonesia. I'm not well versed in understanding world affairs all the time because I don't like reading about it all the time. I try and get the Cliff Notes as much as I can. But Marvel did say that they were going to take disciplinary actions against the artist for putting it in the X-Men book. But I don't know what a lot of this means. All I know is it has something to do with, like, not trusting Christians and Jews in Indonesia or something to that nature, or in the Quran. I'm not sure. But what I do know is that sneaking it in through the art was a very underhanded tactic and not very well appreciated. Clearly, everybody's pissed off about it. Everybody wants Marvel to fire this guy. And I kind of agree. I'm normally not the type of guy to say, yeah, you should lose your job. I normally don't like that. I really don't. I hate saying that because I hope that someone can actually do the job. But if there are certain jobs you're not, especially when it's a job that you're qualified for, where, you know, if you're an artist, if you're a writer, if you're something to that nature, if you're capable of doing the job and doing it well, I think that you should be able to keep your job. But in the same vein, when you do something like this, it's really hard for me to say, yeah, you can keep your job. You see, when you want to talk about something like your religion or your politics outside of work, most people don't really care. So long as you don't piss them off. They normally don't care, but when you do it at work, in some vein or another, yeah, you might actually piss some people off, especially stuff that's of heated topics like this. It's really not a wise course of action. Like I said, I actually do believe that Marvel should probably fire this guy. I don't like saying it, but like I said, some sort of action needs to be taken by Marvel. And I would also say that the editor should have caught it, but of course, if he's not keeping up with that sort of stuff, he probably wouldn't have even known it was a thing. He probably just thought it was random stuff just randomly thrown in. And it's a real darn shame, really. Funny thing is that I recorded a video earlier this week, or this weekend, where I was going to talk about ways to fix Marvel. Don't worry, you guys will get to see that video, but this takes precedent over that one. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching the super recap. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, if you did, leave me a like, shoot me a comment. Hey, if you feel like it, you can also subscribe and ring that bell so you keep up to date with what I'm doing on this channel. Thank you all so much for the love and support. It's greatly appreciated. And as always, do not forget to raise your nerd flags high, and I'll see you next time. That will say.